tSín, bhí impiri agus riari I ré mar an síbhialtachta ársa dain fa 5,000 bliain. Bus tSín a ceapag na haragáin sóhansecha a hamáin réna hagníochta agus na tún scléochta san éarthar. Pápéir, clódóireacht an compás agus púdar gunna. Agus beg athrú a tháinig héal na cosfuintíre.
Ní raibh éon ólas ag muinte na héireann, raibh cultúr agus stair an tSín. Níor higadar go raibh cultúr anna ag táchtach 2,000 bliain raibh Christ sa tSín.
Bhí gach rud le hathrú ag tús na fiú ise.
It was a time of great upheaval in China, set against a background of civil war, of humanitarian crises, and then came the Japanese occupation, World War II, and then the eventual communist takeover. So there really wasn't a dull moment.
I lár na droblóidí agus an cír thuaithin, bhí sagart agus maná rialta na héireann a láthair.
Mana a bhí antu, agus teisig na raya, má tá daoine chin, má tá ácras rabíine, raithú má agus cuideatha tú látha, agus ní bhéh tú is smuitiú cá go sin rialtas dé or rialtas isa or the rialtas hen.
Here we're talking about the extraction of souls, the spread of a spiritual empire, and that's how it's being advertised, both to the potential recruits to the mission and to the people who will pay money into it. So it's aggressively imperial, but for non-monetary ends.
Céad bliain ó shin, d'imigh na slóite missionéirí éireannacha go dtí tSín chun anamacha a thábháil. Ach dulling siad san freisin stair ragóideach ilteach na Sínach. Sa bliain 1912 bhain sagart óg ach trúil ó bhaile níos a gúnda chorcaí dar a bannam Edward ó Galvain an tSín amach. Hastig weig na Síneige umpú ina gríostathe. Bhí na sean riarí treistite mas a chéile, agus bhí tús nua politúil I réim sa tSín. Thosaigh an Galvánach a gobar a baróistí catlicacha a measc na bobal ina raibh an chríostíocht ann ón séuís díag a raig. Fa ceithre bliana, hiúil sé ó ráidmhaile agus ráidmhaile fuad dótha a bhí beagnach chomór le héireann. Sna litricha hiúil sé a bhaile, chuir sé síos ar a héal, agus conas a chuig cultúr na Síne a bhaimir. Dadabhaigh sé gur bhra sé gur hínach, seachas éireannach in is sé.
Ceap mé gur duine sa múile, dóile minis gur duine múre, duine gur raibh bua na bua captain aige, bua líder é. Bhí sé anna dhéana féin agus díon leis na daoine eile. Ach, níor cúis sé ceist réine riamh rud a dhéanamh ná dhéon sé féin ó ná raibh déanta aige féin, Hanna.
所以我想呢，这是中国人的信仰，对信仰的追求、渴望，来激发了这些人呢对中国传教事业的一个热爱。对于这一点，我非常的肯定，因为在公元前的15世纪的时候呢，中国已经有了关于向神明祷告的记载。之后呢，我们所熟知的孔子呢，他在他的著作当中有很多关于天佑我呀、天丧我呀，甚至呢要敬礼神明这样的记载很多。
Vicariate that Galvin went to first in Misean, I think it was something like 11 million pagans and 20 priests, but there were 11,000 Christians. And he says most of our time is taken up with going around those Christians. We have no time for to preach the gospel to the pagans, and that was what he wanted people to do.
高文1912年到浙江传教，然后他看到中国的种种的，然后在他们大量的书信当中， 给他的母亲、给他的同学、给他的同事，还有给爱尔兰的公开信、爱尔兰的民众。他描述的中国是这样的：中国人民是善良的，历史文化是悠久的，是地广物博的。然后，但是呢，他们缺少机会去接触到西方的文明，特别是接触到西方的宗教。
Vi galvan ar mas rudde na feilshimid brihar de das na dhine seo níl seansa go. Agus bine an diocht don lá sin. Ní féidir le muinter na Síne tacht sláán gan bheith baiste mar Christi.
He was totally surrounded by Chinese, so he wrote home for more priests to come out, and eventually 2 did. But they came out with the errand of persuading him to go home and start a college to send priests to China.
Díl sé éiring sa bhliain 1960. Tás gur heasta goig cuman éireannach missionéireachta a bhunú a bheith go thomláin dírithe iompú na Síne. Ag an am bhí missionéirí éireannacha a gobar san Afric agus san Ind, in éanach le hord missionéireachta ón Mhór Rhein. A chasta gon galbhánach rud omláin éireannach a dhéanamh. Chu sé bartíocht leis an tathir Seán ó Bloig, Olaf óg ó Bhanúad, agus has ag an verticha a dolamán feachtais chun an chéad ord missionéireachta dúchasach as éiring na Columbannig a bhunú.
Ní dóilem gevétach galvan ar ord a crochú in éanair. Dví líomhfucht na fochle ag Bloig. Gan Bloig ní éta mísna bheith mar cuman éamh Columban. Mar sin, bhí an beirt itá stáil.
The context of the times is incredibly important. I think it was a time of a growing self-belief within Ireland that change was possible, and maybe a sense of growing pride that Ireland had a culture and had a religion that was worth sharing with the world. And I think the development of the Columban Fathers fits into this context.
Bhí idéalachas san éir. Bhí idéalachas na náisiúntacht. Bhí idéalachas na filí agus na dramadóirí. Darliomsa go bhfuil buint ag sin agus don idéalachas dul thar lear, dul go dtí tír an déhheile den dáin, agus sa scéal Christ a chuairt do gcuine a bhí I mbaol bástáil gan creidimh.
Tar éis míana fada a bharige, bhain an chéadgrúpa, 16 ó chuman nua bhunathe naomh Columban, ceann scríbe amach I míon bheithh 1920. Ní raibh an teanga ag na missionéirí cróga seo, agus ní raibh éonáid buana chu le chur fuatha. Caithfidh gur bhreath na fir óga díograseacha go raibh siad taca go críocha na cruinne.
The reason I think China may have proved really attractive for the mission is that it's sufficiently exotic and separate from British imperial territory. It also would appeal, I think, to a certain sense of adventure. If you look at schoolboy literature from this period, it's full of stories about young boys and young men having wild adventures in this sort of frontier of empire with exotic peoples and exotic animals. So I think you're seeing a group of men who have grown up with a literature that makes that attractive to them.
Bhí na missionéirí éireannacha le saol agus cultúr lán na Síne a bhlaise. Lán toma a bhí a gceist gan aon teanga bháil le na Garda nó le na Gaelta sa bhaile. Chinnte an galabhánach go mbeadh na nósanna agus na daschnátha sóisialta ólas acu, sullanacha siad a plé le muintir na háite.
Learning a completely different language would have been difficult. There were also frequent complaints about Chinese food. I think they found it very difficult to adapt, particularly to anything spicy or exotic. I think they found that tough. But despite the isolation and the difficulties, I think most of them managed to kind of overcome their frustrations and relate to the Chinese as simply that, as people, you know, to find common ground.
Bhí dúthe dagad féin a tastáil ón Ghealbhánach den na missionéirí éireannacha. Bhí áitáil oragaige in amach cathair mar bhunáid lárnach inte, agus ceantar tuatha má gúird. Tugad Hanyang áing an Yangtze dó.
He wanted a place where you could have schools. And he even was hoping to have a university, and he was going to bring professors out from Maynooth. So he wanted Hankou, about 600 miles up from Shanghai. The government was in Wuchang, across the other side of the Yangtze, and Hanyang was the poor relation.
Thosa sé a bunú gréasán paróistí in amach scoileanna agus ospaitéal Caitliceach ann. Bhí siad le bheith bunathe struchtúr na baróistí in éiring in amach an sagart paróiste a gceannas. Tugad cuireadh de bhráithre Críostaí na héireann scoileanna a bhunú sa chathair. Ach a mufainn dua in a raibh tromlach na naoine gan léamh is gan scríomh na maná ach go háirithe, bhí bunscoileanna a tastáil go géir. Iarragar nam ná rialta scoileanna agus clinicí a reachtáil agus tagas Críostaí a bhúna do riine fásta.
Bhí sig na mara ágasin na deimiisiid go dtíon tír, bhí baral waithacú na filmisiid na bháile a ríist. Tá intas mór agamsa gur mra inta ága bhíontu a bhí réile na síla lig a chuirt gus bhí ceidiú inta dóineacu. Sular isa, sular de haisi suas ar neamh. Dúirt sé lofa, déanaí deiscubal de na naisiúnile agus báistí iad in aine nahar agus an bheice agus spirid líomh, agus béimiise am a gcónaí libh go dtí dearú an tíl. Bhí dochas acu in na gréidú héin agus bhí dochas acu antú héin mar ré óga.
Edward Galvin set the tone with his early letters in talking about respect for Chinese culture. So that was coupled with a sense of possibly religious superiority. But I think the reality was that a lot of the Columbians would have come from a rural farming background. And in most cases, they were sent to rural farming parishes. So I do think that this would have created an empathy between priest and parishioner. A Chinese farmer faces the same problems as an Irish farmer, particularly when you're looking at Ireland in the early half of the 20th century. So on a day-to-day level, the Irish Columbians would have had to live alongside their parishioners. They may have been a day's journey by foot to the nearest parish, so they would have been the only European for miles around. So they really had no choice but to embrace the culture.
Bhfuil bhíonach ar fada tuairt faoi creideamh nua a bhunú, agus scoileanna agus ospidéile oscailt laistigh de chultúr cuimhíoch a dír íosachta a bhfad ó bhaile. Agus bhí stad follatúil na síne le hathrú go lua, rud a chuirtheb go mór leis an dúshlán. Ag tús san chéad sicate, bhí daonra na síne os ciún 408 milliún duine. Beagnach a shrian de phobal an dawn. Fear 8 fan géad acu a mochtanas, iad cráite ag tubistí nádúrtha agus gantanis réalta bí. An son hit an chorus polytúr ina hir huathe.
China had been continuously under imperial rule for over 2,000 years. And then in 1911, very quickly, that just collapsed. Province after province declared itself no longer loyal to the Qing government. And this was the sort of the end of a very long period of imperial rule in China. The new president, Yuan Shikai, is corrupt and really loses control of the rest of China. And gradually the local areas come under the control of generals from the army who have a military hold on the region. So you have war between rival warlords around the country. So if you're an ordinary Chinese peasant, your village could be overrun by multiple warlord armies. So it's terrible for ordinary people. And there's no protection when things go wrong.
Bhí strainséirí na missionéirí éirneacha na measc a gun tuairt, agus fiú únsathe foréigneacha an íriúartha. Bhí drocháil ar chomhlínig na hórpa sa tSín, agus heasta gos na héireannig go bhíh faoi go raibh siad san difriúil.
具体到爱尔兰 爱尔兰和爱尔兰传教士，我们知道爱尔兰本身它受到殖民主义的受害者，对，所以他们的传教士本身就对殖民主义、对帝国主义深恶痛绝，他们对中国人民抱有深深的同情，他们也尽力避免这些。
Edward Galvin and the Columbans were keen to emphasise that they were Irish missionaries. They weren't British. And I mean, this was coming in the very early years of the Free State. They used this to set themselves apart from other European missionaries who would have come from the traditional colonial powers. So again, I think this was a way of finding a common ground with the Chinese people.
One of the kind of missions of the Maynooth mission is to have an Irish colour or flavour to a sort of Western Christian mission, that it is defined by its Irishness. And you see that in what they're sending home. They're talking about what's distinctively Irish about their mission with the Chinese and how they're imbuing a sort of Irishness. And you see this as some wonderful photographs of the mission with, hurley sticks in China. It's absolutely wonderful. And that's this sense of, this isn't a cricket bat, this is a hurl, this is Irish, it's not British.
Bhí rialtas oifigiúil na Síne fé bhrú ag éirigh an lámh an uachtar a áil, dan réimsí móra den tír faoi smacht na díornaí cogaigh agus na méirlach creachta. Agus an tír ina chiarthóthil hí na Columbánaigh ag éirigh crístathe a dhéanamh de na Síne. Ach ní raibh na missionéirí sunanta, hic siad go raibh cogadh ar siúl chun anam na Síne a bhuachant. Bhí farragar na Síne leis na strainséirí. Bhí na hidéolaíochta an amíocht le na chéile, agus iad ag éirigh cóchtach lecha I dtír a bhí an is le brí ag tús na fihiúise.
A young nation is kind of finding itself and working out what it sees as its place in the world. And so that's going on in Ireland before and after the sort of revolution here. And it's going on in China as well, especially after 1911 and the fall of that dynasty. There's lots of new political movements, literary movements, just as the Gaelic revival was really important to the growth of what it meant to be Irish in the early decades of the 20th century in China. You have all of these scholars and intellectuals who are saying we need to make the language more accessible to ordinary people. But other social changes came with that. This is a period of huge sort of political change as people were exploring new ideas about democracy and republicanism, socialism.
Hiag na missionéirí éarnacha go maith cad a bhí ag éist ag náisiún óg agus féin chin túchan á lorg aige. Cuoinnig go raibh na fiirse a fás in níos le lín cogan na síirse sa bhaile. Hiag siad go riomha na dúchláin a bhí le sarú ag ferrimóirí bochta na barca na ríise, agus iad a daileáil le gortaí, tílte, triomach agus galar. Bíad seo chomá na pobl bochta bhó a bhí a mail na núnsathe fuiltecha. Dhéan na braithir chríostaí éarnacha aníireach de scoileanna a chimead ar oscailt. Ach sa deire bhíortha tharing siar, tuisc méadú am ar éigean agus na nachchinteachta.
Darlamsa go raibh stair brónach ag an tSín. De caidir múrán blianta ina néanair. Bhíidir sonna sásta mar láir an dáin, an ríocht mánach a gléadar féin ar a féin. Agus gan oscailt bí go dtí an dáin. Ach nuair as gléadar san tochtú ísteog, néo ísteog, nuair a tháinig na Americánig, na Francig, na Germánig, agus riile bhí an scéal anna bhocht. Agus mar sin nuair a tháinig na Héireannig, dúirdar Éireannig? Na, Sasanig iad. Agus taidan so chun singa réabba. Mar sin bhí sé anna dhheacair do Galvin agus do Columbánaigh, bheith ará táimid an seo chun an bríthir Christ a craobh scaoile. Níl míad an seo chun éon rud a thuairt as. Táimid an seo chun an brontanas seo a thuairtíomh.
Ón tús bhí iris áchar amach ag na Columbánig chun na léthirí sa bhaile a chimead ar an ólas, agus chun airgid a bhailú. Fáil siad an chiad agrán den Far East an 1980, agus ní raibh éon dátán ach go raibh charachtar catlichach éireannach a buint lé. Agus gur bunaíodh an mission sa chéan irthir ar bhaithe le glóire dé agus an nóir na héireann.
In éon bliain a bháin, mí nó 9 agus 80, de bhí 50,000 daoine ag fáilt an iris seo. Agus an iris féin de bhí sé an riachtanach go mbeadh na Columbánig féin is scrí. De bhí scéalta mar gheall ar an tSín, mar gheall ar stair na Síne, mar gheall ar an cléir, mar gheall ar na gná daoine. Agus dúi muinte na héireann nach raibh mórán isacu ar an Sín, díga níag bhíidir I fálam mar gheall ar an cultúr seo.
There's a novelty to this as well. For the first time, Irish people are going to see images of missionaries in action. And that's something that the mission itself is aware will help to build both profile, attract new recruits, and also bring in money into the mission as well. It's a deliberate strategy. It's a very modern, almost Catholic corporate approach to building profile at home. And they're very, very good at it.
Sna 1950 sa tSín, bhí páirtithe éagsúla polatúla, méirlig agus ceannarí míleata ag éirigh rialta sa bhain bheith bhratach choéantach a bhanú. Ach bhí scoilt ideolaíoch idir na náisiúnathe agus na cumanathe. Bhí na sceanna géirithe don chogad catharathe. Ag deireadh na bhíthidí, bhí cuid bhada thuaisceart na Síne faoi smacht na náisiúnathe, agus mór an den deisceart a lámh an na gumanathe. Bhí missionéirí na héireann gafa a lár buil faoi bhagart ag ruaigeanna ón dáthaamh. Bhí na cumanathe a go háirithe a gcuine na missionéirí íosachta. Bhí ar na sagart imeachtas a baróistí go minic agus fódar fuair. De réir tuairiscí déanach únsathe ortha fuadaíoch iad agus céasach iad. Agus is minic a lean gníomh marafach na bagartí báis.
The first one to be killed was Tim Leonard. He was saying Mass, and word came that the communists were coming. They came in and they caught him and they scattered the host. And probably he got mad at them and they just hacked him to death. Cornelius Tierney was the superior, and he was up helping one of the priests who had a building project, and he was captured by communists. Eventually they let him go, and he wandered and was nearly back to safety when another band picked him up, and he died in captivity.
Ní a bhíon más ag na cóchomannig ar na sagart, ná ar cíastíocht, ná ar éon rud eile. De cuireamar ceangail orin féin ó tús, bheith obair leis na daoine bhmhachta, na daoine a bhí follingt, na daoine go raibh gá cabhair a chu. Agus buchas mór le dia, mar na daoine sin in éon cultúr ar dáin, tá rud faoi le a chu. Agus sin é rud úntach ar fad, bheith obair le daoine mar sin.
Leanthach an cogar catharatha a raibh go ceanna bhád eile, scris, bás agus scebhla san áireamh. Chuir na missionéirí éireannacha cóir leisear fáil agus hacaigh siad leis na tefií. Ní héan job a bhí ar intina chun ar a chuisiad go dtíon tSín chun anamacha a thábháil. Agus anois, bhí an tobaiste réanúil ba bhó riamh le titim amach.